Hey, Mark here. I have something fun for you. I have 5 digital copies of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 to give away. And if you listen to this episode the day it comes out and you want to message me by May 29th, May 30th, I can put you in for the drawing. I have it across all social channels, so there's no guarantee, but I do have 5 copies of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 to give out, and I would love to give a digital copy to you. So, the world's favorite blue hedgehog is back in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, now available on digital in this next level sequel. Sonic and Tails must save the world from Dr. Robotnik's evil plans. Buy Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and watch it today. Rated PG from Paramount Pictures. Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a Necromonger, a half-dead Necromonger, who just got back from the Underverse and is currently traveling towards a hot planet named Crematoria. It's Norbert Morvan.
Threshold! Take us to the threshold! Ah! Jesus Christ, what's going on, Mike?
I'll steal your soul.
Yo, he took that guy's soul, okay? And a lot of things in movies where, for example, Shang Tsung, your soul is mine. He absorbs it. He keeps it. He takes your soul and keeps it. This guy takes the dude's soul and just like drops it on the floor, man.
Like a dirty towel.
Yeah, like it's nothing.
Lord Marshall does not care.
The Lord Marshall, right. No, not at all. No, not at all. His bag of FUCKs is empty.
When he came back from the Underverse, he dropped all those.
Yo!
Half man, half something.
Have something else. And I wrote in my notes, Spanish?
You know what I love about this movie, man? It's 3 movies, but
It is.
Okay, and I don't want this to sound in any way like I'm talking down on it, saying like you're so cute. I don't want to say that because this is an original property. This is new ideas, but I love how dorky it is. And but Vin Diesel's a D&D guy. He said he was playing D&D on set with Judi Dench, Tandway Newton, and Carl Urban. Like
that is awesome.
He was on set playing D&D. So when I say dorky, I guess maybe that's the wrong word, but it is just, there's Necromongers, there's Half Dead, there's Full Dead, there's Helion Prime. There's I don't like calling it Crematoria because I just want to call it Hot Planet.
I like that.
I mean, there are just, okay, in the beginning of the movie, okay, I'm letterkenning it right now because I'm just frozen thinking about it. So in the beginning of this movie, he's been hiding in an ice cave for 5 years by himself. He gets captured.
Right.
And then, he takes a plane and to Helion Prime, it's attacked. Then he wants to go kill a guy, and then he meets the Lord Marshall, a Necromonger, who wants to destroy the world. But then he escapes, and the bounty hunters that tried to catch him earlier catch him again, take him to the prison where Kira is staying from the first film. And then there's a 40-minute long subplot on a hot planet. That's
correct.
They leave the hot planet. Kira is kidnapped. She is turned into a Necromonger. And then she dies. And then he kills Lord Marshall. And he becomes the ruler of the Necromongers.
That's it.
Also, Tandway Newton, Dame Vaco, and Vaco, they have a subplot in there. She's kind of Macbeth, like Macbeth's wifing him a little bit in the right direction.
Oh, she's so supportive of his career and his future, job prospects. She just wants him to just be better. That's all.
I was watching Waterworld recently, and Dennis Hopper seemed to be the one guy that was like, screw it, I'm going to have fun on this movie. I am going to turn it to 11, and I am going to just smoke cigarettes. They're the smokers, Norbert. They're on an oil they're on an oil gasoline rig, and all they do is smoke cigarettes and have drag races. It's wonderful.
Insane.
But in this one, Dame Vaco Newton, she just like, for lack of a better word that I can think of right now, she sort of vamps it up and has fun with it and goes big and Shakespearean. I feel like she's the one who got the tone of this movie.
Exactly. And it's not for nothing. She is oozing sexuality and just, you should be the one who's the leader of the Necromongers, Lord Vaco. I am your wife. Oh, I see so much inside you. Oh, yeah. And I'm just like, okay, just keep talking.
Yeah.
Almost there. Love it.
Yeah, she works in like a necromonger 9 to 5, you know. She just plays
That's right.
Vaco. And he's just kind of like this
100%.
big dummy warrior. And she's just, but you know what? Every time she comes up to talk to him, he always goes, "Stop talking to me like that, woman." Mind your place, woman. But she seems to
Mind your place.
she seems to be very high ranking, Norbert, because she can just walk like Arion, the existential, no, the sprite, the SeaWorld sprite. Wait, what's existential? What words am I saying? Yeah, but no, she's a celestial.
No. She is an acriminama.
So her name's Arion, and she's an Arian elemental. She's an elemental.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Did you just call her an acrimon?
I called her a Gemini. That's what she is.
She was a SeaWorld. She was existential.
But
But
there's so much.
there's so many words, Norbert. It's easy to just call somebody SeaWorld in this
Yes.
SeaWorldia. That's the water planet. SeaWorld. There's Hot Planet. There's SeaWorld. There's Death Planet.
And then New Mecca, right?
Yeah.
But apparently, New Mecca has all the religions. You know? So the dude that got his soul snatched, you know, unfortunately, his soul was snatched and thrown away. That planet is the Jesus planet, basically. You can worship whatever you want on that planet. The crematoria, like you say, that's the hot planet. Then we got Ice Planet. It's like the people who designed the sets were just playing 1980s Nintendo games. Okay, we need a water board. Okay, we need an ice board. Ooh, and then we get the sunshine board.
I love it.
Not the craftiest thought behind what kind of planets we got here. We need a Jesus board. Oh, let's get a bagel board.
Cheese board. But I like Vaco though, Dame Vaco. She walks the elemental everywhere. She seems to have her as a prisoner. She straight up interrupts Lord Marshall and steps into things. She's more powerful than Vaco. But Vaco keeps going, "Stay in your place." Like he's just a big dummy.
Right. She's basically the wife of the vice president, but with massive huevos, if you will. That.
Yes.
CEGAF. She walks around, you know, Lady Vaco, are you supposed to be back here? Well, I am Lady Vaco, and oh, by the way, your soul is mine. Like, I wanted to see her do violence, too, because she was really rooting for the murder of Lord Marshall at the end. Yes, do it. You know, she's crazy.
I love it. She makes me so. She knew what movie she was in. And
she's wonderful.
And listening to the commentary on this movie, it was once again, Norbert. I listened to the commentary of this movie. David Twohy, the director writer, and then you had Alexa Davalos, who Kira, who was a constant head tilt, and then you had Carl Urban on there, and wasn't the best commentary, Norbert. I didn't learn anything. They just talked about how great the movie was, and Alexa Davalos kept saying how she had to get in character to have her scenes with Riddick.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just gets killed.
I feel like this is one that the three of them were trying. Well, not the three of them, because I think Twohy, like we said in the last podcast, Twohy's just into this stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's into it. But I believe that Urban and the Jack
Davalos.
actress, they're just, nah, I'm good. Am I getting paid for this? Okay. How much time's left? This is a movie I think they're trying to purge from their resume.
I love that you said the jacked actress, because she got in shape. She trained for months for this movie, but they never get to use any of it. Like she never gets a real action scene. I mean, Vin Diesel. In this movie, he gets so many scenes where he's laying on something and his biceps are just exploding out of his skin. But then she seemed to be equally as in shape as him, and they didn't get to highlight. Like, this isn't an Edge of Tomorrow situation where Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise rip it up.
Right. And Emily Blunt is just rampaging through these aliens. Compared to Tom Cruise? Oh, my God, yeah.
But I felt bad, though, because I'm like, man, she trained for months for this movie. But I know we're kind of making fun of it here. But in the end, Norbert, I love this movie because I think
I like it too.
you can cut out the middle 40 minutes because
Yes.
they do absolutely nothing for the plot. If you just stick with the beginning with the ice planet and then
Right.
the mecha planet and then you just stay there. Just stay there. Like you don't need hot planet.
You know what?
You
Well,
don't need
this is the thing,
SeaWorld.
man. This is the problem. Unlike in the first movie where we get that kind of middle
It's so
where the
simple.
characters get to breathe. Right. The characters get to breathe and hang out, you know,
Uh-huh.
and they get to bounce off each other and interact. This movie, they didn't believe in the Necromongers. They, Twohi.
Mhm.
I feel like he didn't trust the audience to get it. He wanted to make Dune. You could tell.
Oh,
You could
yeah.
tell he wanted.
Bro,
You could tell he
the
wanted to make
savior.
Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could tell he wanted to make Dune. You can tell that he's trying to make Edgelord Star Wars the whole time, but he doesn't have the courage to let the Lord Marshal be the bad guy, and then we get invested in following the political intrigue of the Vaco family
Yeah.
trying to take over. So he throws in Prison Break Extreme in the middle. We get Eastern European jail warden. We have a vodka. We make deal together. Maybe you take plan. I give you money, but not too much money because I want I want to keep money as well. And Riddick. Just what? Can we get more Tandy on the screen, please? Tandy Newton's so evil and insane that she takes an air elemental up in a plane and threatens to throw this flying creature out of a plane. Like she's just batshit crazy with just her rage and violence, and then pulls out like a knife sword thing, as if we haven't seen Dame Judi Dench, who strangely goes from being, I'm in chains, but not really because I can phase through stuff, but maybe not. Like we want more of that. We wanted more of that, but he didn't have the guts. He didn't have the guts to stick with it. So instead, welcome to crematoria. There are inmates and there are convicts. Inmates bring shame to the game. Which one will you be? We get that guy.
That guy.
I love that guy. I'm sorry.
Like he's a good actor, but it's just so unnecessary.
Yes, the question is why. Every time he shows up, you're like, why?
It's like, listen, you earned your paycheck. I get
100%.
it. You have some gravitas. I would give you a free pass to SeaWorld. You tore it up. But sometimes I wonder, Norbert, if you look at the costume design of the Necromongers in New Zion, or Helion Prime. Helion Prime. And then you look at the production design, like Holger Gross, the production designer. He's a guy who also did Deep Rising, which I love. Broken Arrow. He did Stargate, Universal Soldier. He was an Emmerich guy. And then he did Chronicles of Riddick. In his last, then he went on to do Scary Movie 4, which is pretty interesting. But I mean, the production design, the sets, Norbert, are gigantic. There are massive set builds. I wonder if they just ran out of money. Because it must have been really expensive to just have all the Necromongers, and there's only so many Necromonger things you can do. Oh, wow. The person who did this also did, like, Book of Eli. Oh, yeah, so this person's legit.
I feel like they didn't run out of money because it's all up there on the screen.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right.
When you watch this in HD, you can definitely see some green screen pop out a little bit more than it would in probably standard definition. But from what you say, no, man. Because the graphics still holds up. Every once in a while, it kind of looks like a PlayStation 2 cutscene. But for the most part, the graphics hold up. And mentioning the fact that they did production design, the same person did production design on Stargate, you can absolutely see that here.
Yeah.
It's funny because the entryway to the Underverse kind of looks like, hey, there's an arrow pointing this way, go this way. It's so weird. Such a weird movie.
But the Underverse is real. Correct. So the Underverse is real.
So Lord Marshall,
he's been there.
He's been to the Underverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he came back as half alive and half something else, maybe French. We don't know, right? So to stop him, Usually